Yo, what is going on, Knicks Nation? It's your boy comes here with a brand new video. Before we get into the video, hit that sub button, like the video, and comment down below your thoughts on this video. Now, without further ado, let's get into the video. So, should the New York Knicks, should Tom Thibodeau, should we do a lineup change for the playoffs? Now, we all know how good of a player Elfrid Payton is. We all know that he's one of the best point guards in the league. And should we help him out by benching him? That's what I'm trying to ask you. Should Tom Thibodeau look into benching Elfrid Payton? Now, there's been this whole debate on Twitter and everywhere that if you put somebody else in the starting lineup, it's going to mess up with the matchup and the lineups in the later half of the games where somebody's supposed to be subbed in right now, but since he played in the beginning, he's not subbed in right now, and then that messes up your entire rotation. So I just want to come out and give you guys my thoughts. Elfrid Payton, as bad of a player he is, he's still going to be one of the best point guards that we have on the roster, and that's saying a lot for the New York Knicks. Now, we all know that, Elfrid Payton has not played very well at all. In the last 10 games, I believe, he's put up 4 points and has 4 turnovers, or 2 points and 4 turnovers. It's been bad. He has more turnovers than he has points, which is just so crazy to think about as your starting point guard, who's not even playing as much. He's playing 10 to 15 minutes a game at most, and he's your starting point guard. Now, the question comes, if you were to replace him, who would you replace him with? Would you replace him with Derrick Rose, who has tried to revive his career and doesn't want to, start and play big minutes because he's trying to preserve his career and play for another couple years, which makes sense. He's been very good off the bench, been a spark plug, has been contributing on every facet of the game when needed be, and he even plays in the first quarter when you need him. Or do you bring in a Burks, who has played point guard for us? He does play point guard for us on the bench and has done a pretty decent job. Not gonna lie, he's done a pretty decent job. But would you put him as your starting point guard? Or would you just let Elfrid Payton play out? Sometimes he can get you a basket. Sometimes he can play good defense. Or do you risk starting off the game slow every time and then sub him out for Derrick Rose or Frank Ntilikina or even Emmanuel Quickly, even Burks? Personally, I wouldn't, because I've started to read and understand why Tom Thibodeau isn't making those changes, and it does make sense as to why he's not doing it. So Tom Thibodeau is a very matchup based coach. He's gonna look up at the matchup and see who's doing what. So now if Frank Ntilikina gets some play, which just because his defense has been pretty decent, Tom Thibodeau is trusting Frank Ntilikina in clutch moments, in key moments, the last 30 seconds of games, to come in and play defense. And Frank Ntilikina is getting trust from Tom Thibodeau. Now, we have all heard that Frank Ntilikina should start to guard Trae Young, and that's a very good possibility. Frank Ntilikina's defense is the main attribute of him as a player, and he's done a pretty solid job against Trae Young in his 3 years, 4 years that Trae Young has been in the league. And every time he's played, Trae Young has been contained, not locked up, because Trae Young is still a very good player, and you still get his bucket. But Trae Young has to work harder to get those buckets and those passes off when Frank Ntilikina's on the court because of his defense. Now, that's a possibility. We also have Derrick Rose, who's a veteran, and he knows how to play in these clutch time moments. Because Trae Young is going to be in his first playoff, in his first NBA playoff series. So we don't know how it's going to work out. Is he going to fall apart? Is he going to become a GOAT? We don't know how Trae Young is going to play in the playoff. But we know Derrick Rose is going to come in and, perform, because he's done it throughout his career and was the youngest MVP. So he's gonna come out and give his 110%. So should the New York Knicks make a rotation change and bench Elfrid Payton for the entire playoff? Personally, I would, but after reading and understanding why Tom Thibodeau is doing it, I understand. But I definitely hope Frank Ntilikina gets some minutes and shows that Tom Thibodeau can trust Frank Ntilikina and guard Trae Young. But yeah, guys, let me know what you think about this in the comment section below, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.